Hello everyone, you're watching Entertainment Live as well as ABP Live. This is me, Vanshika Sharma, and with me I have on call Taira. How are you, Taira?
I'm good. Hi, Vanshika. How are you?
I'm doing great as well. Satish Bhaskar's story, if we talk about, it is something which is very close to the people's heart because it involves environment and the people who are, really attached to the shores or the coastal areas. They may be, relating to it very much. So, when did you realize that this untold story had to become a film?
So, I actually started making this film 8 years ago. It took us 7 years in production, pre-production, production, and then distribution has been 1 year. But yeah, the story came to me because I was actually working with local children, teaching the local children about marine conservation in the Andaman Nicobar Islands. And while I was there, I realized that in fact most of these children had never gone into the water and seen the kind of biodiversity under the water, the coral reefs, the fish. And so I realized that there was a lot of fear of the ocean. So that really motivated me. And for many years after that, I was looking to find a film or a story where it can bring young children close to the marine world, to learn about its species and to feel a sense of wonder and not fear for it. So when I found out about this story about Satish Bhaskar and his adventurous spirit and how it led him to walk, almost the entire coastline by foot to discover sea turtles, I felt that this was the perfect story to create that impact.
Okay, so we all are very much connected to the marine life because whenever we see any fish aquarium, we get so much attracted to it. जब भी हम लोग sea shores पे जाते हैं, we just fall in love with the beauty of water, the nature. But you're documenting a man who spent decades, along the India's coastlines. So was it difficult to recreate his inner world?
Well, I mean, I think with any story and any documentary, first you have to build trust, and that takes time. So I think, for us, and especially someone like Satish Bhaskar, you'll see in the film, he's not a very extroverted person. He was quite a loner, and he did not like to, interact with too many people. That's what made him also possible to go and live alone on these islands for 3 months, 4 months, 9 months at a time. So, I think it takes time to build that trust and to earn their trust and get them to feel comfortable to share their inner world with you. So yeah, that was a good, like, I think 9 months or 1 year of just visiting him, spending time together. Him and his wife lived just hardly like 1 hour away from me in Goa. So it was very easy to go and visit them and spend time together. So I think as documentary filmmakers, that's a big part of the process, is building that time and building that sort of understanding and rapport before you start shooting the film. So yeah.
Okay, so first of all, I'd like to congratulate you because Turtle Walker, when it got premiered in the foreign cities, in the foreign lands, so it got all sold out shows. And how do you think this global recognition shaped the, film's journey and yours as well?
Yeah, so we actually premiered last year in November at Doc NYC, and the film was very well received. We had 2 sold out shows, and since then we've been screening all over the world. I think we've done maybe 60, 70 film festivals. For us, it was really amazing to see that people are resonating with this story all over the world, because it shows the universal nature. I think we all, as human beings, we want to like learn more about the natural environment because we're so disconnected from it today. We're all living in very urban places. Many of us have never seen the beauty and biodiversity that exists in India. Like a lot of people, when they see that, they're like, oh, wow, these are islands in India. So there's a lot of wonder and sense of pride also for the country and the beauty that we have in our country that so it's been really nice to share it with people all over the world. A lot of Indian people also come, Indian diaspora come, and yeah, they voice that they feel the sense of pride for our natural heritage. So that's really nice.
Okay, that's so great to hear. But if we see about India's filmmaking, it is evolving. More and more, documentaries are welcomed in India, and I guess it is the urgency too. As per the time we are living in, we need more docu-series, documentaries. What responsibility did you feel while, telling a story which is so much rooted in conservation and the identity of the man himself?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that's really important is to always make sure that that you have partners on ground, impact partners, research partners, because as a documentary filmmaker, what we do is we go into a space where we're learning, we immerse ourselves into someone else's world. And very often in the beginning, we don't know much about that. So I knew nothing about sea turtles really when I started making this film. So I think then, it comes to really working with the communities, and those communities tend to be people that have worked with sea turtles, that have worked in these islands for many many years. So for us, that was very important, is to build those partnerships and to work along with them. So even when we were filming with the turtles, we worked with a foundation called Dakshin Foundation, and we filmed at their base in where they were running their study in Little Andaman Island. And even how you approach the turtle, like that was something we had to learn, because you can't just go and approach them and start filming. They'll get scared and they go back into the sea. So you have to wait until they have started laying their eggs, because then they go into sort of like a trance where they can't be as disturbed by the lights and the cameras and the crew. So that's when you're able to come, a little closer, maybe from the front, and you can get those nice shots, those cinematic shots. But otherwise, you really have to be careful. And so these are the kinds of things that we learned. So it really takes a lot of collaboration and working with the participants, but also with the stakeholders, like the impact on ground partners.
I am sure that the learnings will, stay forever, because whenever we learn something new now, that just stays in our heart forever. But this campaign has already helped build rehab centers, support fishermen, and the people who are, genuinely involved in studying the marine life. So, on which ground outcome do you feel which is the strongest extension of Satish's legacy?
So, I mean, I would say there are two. So, one is we started this impact campaign 5 years ago. So, the first main project we started was a marine megafauna rescue and rehabilitation program, where we supported already partners that were working on this. So, there were several NGOs on ground that were working, people who were vets, people who came from, like any sort of like research background. And so there were like 4 or 5 different NGOs, and we helped them with, capacity building, but also with fundraising to ensure that the program can expand. So it was started initially in Karnataka, and we helped them to expand it into Goa, and now the newest one is in Gujarat. So if any big whales or sharks or turtles or any large marine animals, even seabirds, if they wash up to the shore, then they get like first aid. And what's interesting about this program is they work in Goa, they work with the lifeguards. So anyway, the lifeguards are on the beaches because they are first responses for people if there's any need, any emergency. But these lifeguards have also been trained, and they're so excited to be involved with rescuing the marine life. So it's a very interesting partnership, and it's been quite successful in not only in rescuing, but also understanding the causes of death, why these animals are getting washed up. So that's one program that I feel is a really good impact, from his work. And then another one is we're working on a lot of education and outreach screening. So we want to get the stories to youth. So one of the things is to introduce for the, Teach for India has a program called Firki, where they train their teachers. So the idea is to introduce to them, into the curriculum, how you can have marine studies, so projects and activities around learning about the marine world. So that's one, but there are many other education initiatives that we're working on right now.
I guess that is a wonderful job, because awareness is something which is very important to even get the minor knowledge about something. It can hit someone so hard that they can just start their journey towards conserving the nature. We all talk about it, but we do not take any steps to conserve our mother earth nature. No one is talking about sustainable development. They all just hear about it, but thanks to you that you are taking initiatives. Also, Taira, you have lived with Satish's story for so many years. How has this particular film, changed your personality as a filmmaker and as a human being as well?
So, I started making this film when I was 25 or 26 years old. So, obviously, I have grown a lot along the way. It was my first feature documentary. So, I had to learn everything from not just the direction, but also how to produce and, how, legal aspects. And, I learned all the different roles of, like, a filmmaker on this project. And so it's been a huge learning curve for me. And there's been a lot of people who have taught me, people like mentors, our EPs, our producers, they've guided me through this process. So
Hmm.
now my goal is to, like, help with other young filmmakers who are maybe making their first film, and support them, through sort of peer mentorship or just through my learning. So that's kind of how I am, like, paying it forward and helping other filmmakers who've been in this position before.
Okay, thank you so much, Tyra. That was all. I have ended my list of questions, but I wish you all the very best for,
Thank you.
conserving the nature and our motherland. Also for this project, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vanchika.